What's going on, Sports Wars? It's Sunday. These playoffs, it's so busy. You get that Saturday games, you get the Sunday games, but we're here to talk about a little bit of both. What happened last night, the crazy upset that somebody on this panel called, not me. Of course, this guy over here, I was ready to be rocking, Ravens gear all the way through to the Super Bowl, but not the way it was meant to be. Tennessee came and destroyed them. But we're here. This is Sports Wars. We're here to talk about the games that are coming up. Jay, Drunk 3PO, is here with me. How's it going, brother?
Oh, man, going well. Riding high off that crazy Tennessee pick. It was a gamble, man. That was a gamble. But I don't know, man. I can't. I got to go. I've been saying it all season. I'm riding Tannehill till I can't ride him no more.
Well, the thing is, Tannehill is playing well. He's not making any mistakes. He's making the big plays with his feet sometimes, making good decisions. They are not asking him to do a ton right now.
Very
not
basic.
Asking him to do a ton.
Yeah, very basic. Keep it basic. Just keep basically they're telling him, don't make any big mistakes.
Well, when you got big ass Derrick Henry back there, I mean, why would you ask anybody else to do anything? I mean, that dude is just literally running over people. He was trying to end Earl Thomas last night. I wish he would have. I wish he would have.
I know. I mean, it makes a quarterback job so much easier when everyone's playing up because they're playing against the run, and Ryan can just do this nice little outpost, little crossover. He even ran one in for a touchdown. So,
well, yeah, he's had a couple runs like that. He's had a couple touchdowns in the regular season because he actually won me my fantasy league because I picked him up in the last half of the season. But and Derrick Henry had a passing touchdown. He had a jump pass.
Yeah,
that was crazy too. And I see someone in the chat. Ryan been a true Ravens fan since week 5. No, actually. So this is it's funny. I went for work. I had to go to Pittsburgh for a week, and it was in like the fall, winter. And so I went to a Steelers game, and because I just wanted to be an asshole, they were playing the Ravens. So I bought a Ravens hat and like a Ray Rice jersey. This was like just after all the Ray Rice jerseys were discounted because it was just after he was kicked out of the NFL for beating the crap out of his wife and or his fiance at the time, whatever it was. And so I just wanted to be the ultimate troll in Pittsburgh because I didn't really care, So I went to Heinz Field, just had everybody yelling at me. It was hilarious. But, yeah, so that's why I have the Ravens game.
Anybody throw any drinks at you?
No, nobody threw any drinks at me. It was mostly so Ben Roethlisberger had like 6 touchdowns. They won by like 35 points or something. It was a complete blowout. So what are you gonna do? My troll ended up backfiring a little bit, and everybody just gave me shit the entire night.
If they were winning, I know, then you could turn around at everyone and just
that's what I would have been doing, man. Too.
Just let it fly.
Yeah, but
I think Tennessee could make the Super Bowl, bro.
Well, I mean, all they need to do is win one more game, and they've clearly shown that that's not out of the realm of possibilities no matter who they play. And they've got such a great momentum right now, and they're all feeling it. But I wanted to go ahead and share this. This is a tweet from Adam Schefter. This is March 15th, 2019. Another interesting deal in today's trade. Dolphins paid $5 million of Ryan Tannehill's $7 million fully guaranteed money in form of a signing bonus, per source. Softened the blow for Tennessee. This is when Tennessee acquired Tannehill, and people were like, wow, really? Like, why are you going to waste money on Tannehill? And you see all of these responses. Unfortunately, what blows most is that they got Tannehill, so they felt sorry for giving them a bum. The Titans and Broncos are in an arms race to see who can have the most mediocre quarterbacks. Titans still lost this trade. All these things. Nobody.
I would have blown those things up and did a John Boyega Raylo video.
Oh, yeah, if that was Tannehill, I'm sure he's feeling great. And, of course, you got here, I don't have my sound shared, but nobody, Dolphins front office, of course, Alex Jones, all right, I'm a little retarded. But yes, this is but yeah, so you can see it's really funny to see all these people responding almost a year ago about what a terrible deal that was for the Titans. And at the end of the day, whether he's a huge talent improvement over Marcus Mariota, not really, but he's definitely clicking with what they're doing. And I've always hated Marcus Mariota. I thought he was overrated.
I think he's better than Marcus, and I think what he's doing. So what happened with Miami? He had he had like one or two offensive weapons. That's it. Didn't really have anything else to go with. And by the time he hiked the ball, he has 2 seconds to throw it, or he's running for his life, and it's crazy. So like here with the running back that he has, he's got a little more time to stay a little more focused, and not make mistakes. It's just such a better system for his type of play. He was a wide receiver in college for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And then he switched over. So he's got kind of like a unique perspective of everything. And
him and Julian Edelman had, kind of crossed separate paths there.
Yeah.
Edelman being the former QB in high school turned wide receiver.
And
actually, Julian Edelman got arrested last night.
Yeah, for jumping on someone's car.
Yeah, BFD, who cares?
For jumping on someone's car. Is Tannehill Foles 2.0? I don't, maybe,
yeah.
But I'm right. That's been my guy from since he started, and Ryan will back me up. I picked Tennessee. Like I've just said, I'm gonna stick with him all the way through.
The thing with Nick Foles is, to me, we've clearly seen a situation with Nick Foles where if he gets placed in the right system with the right things around him, he can do well. But when he's with, say, a Jeff Fisher-led Rams, with a guy who doesn't know anything about calling offensive plays, he struggles. So I think you can see that. Nick Foles, because Nick Foles was successful with Andy Reid. He goes to the Rams with Jeff Fisher, is trash. He goes to Doug Peterson, who has a unique offense that they were run. They had the RPO going. He was put in a place where he could succeed, and he was successful. And then he goes down to the Jags, who are a mess. I don't know how, Gardner Minshew is basically just running around there trying to make plays. That's not Nick Foles' game. And he struggled. So Jags didn't win a single game that he started, I don't think, this year.
No. And that's just how it is. Like they just got to find a system that works for them. I mean, the biggest thing that I ever saw about making a system work for you, and we always bring it up, is the Tebow Broncos era. They changed their entire offense to fit his non-throwing. They literally turned that offense back to his Florida college offense that he ran. It was very bizarre. So
just with a lot less throwing.
Yeah, it was like, you talk about, it was a 360 flip. You're just like, what are we looking at? This was not the Broncos at all, but it worked for him for that one fluke season. And just like you said, Nick Foles, it worked for him. So
yeah, and what you can attest to this better than anybody else, the insane amount of turnover that happened in Miami while Ryan Tannehill was there, be it head coach, offensive coordinator, personnel. He had no consistency.
No,
and on top of that, he had a lot of injuries. Even when it did look like he was about to have some consistency, he'd get injured. Like that, I think was it the second or first year that Adam Gase was there? They ended up bringing Cutler in after Tannehill got injured. So
Jay Cutler signs $20 million to play what? He played 7 games because he got hurt 1 year. What a joke.
I hated Jay Cutler as my quarterback, the Chicago Bears, but I loved Jay Cutler for the memes and for his radio. He used to do what is it called? He used to do a radio show, a weekly radio show with ESPN Chicago, and he was just perfect because he's so like deadpan sarcastic. It was hilarious. But
Jay Cutler would?
Yes, dude, it's so funny. He has a show. This is stupid. He has a show. Well, his wife has a show that my wife watches, but that's the only reason I know about it. But he's by far the best part of that show because I think he's married to like Kristen Cavallari or somebody, one of those freaking the Hills Girls or something like that.
Oh,
and
wow.
he is hilarious because he's just a dude who doesn't give a shit about anything. But
he didn't care about the Dolphins either. Like, he literally, like, the stories that came out of that one year where he was like, he just showed up, did whatever. And, he like took it serious after they won. But then after they lost, he was just like, my back hurts. My arm hurts. My foot hurts.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. Yeah. But back to today's games. So we got two big ones to see who's gonna match up in the AFC and NFC championships. First game, Houston Texans at Kansas City Chiefs. JJ Watt is back healthy-ish for the playoffs. So is he going to be a factor in the game? Is he going to be chasing Patrick Mahomes around? That's a storyline to look out for. What is this Kansas City offense? It's going to hold up. What are your thoughts about this game?
No, I think Kansas City, I think they're going to run all over the Texans. I think they're going to run all over the Texans. I was like, the weather there, it's not snowing, is it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think they're going to people are picking the Texans. I think Kansas City's going to take it. They're going to take it. I think the Mahomes is going to do a lot of running like he did the last time. We were wondering about him, and he's going to be the X factor. So I just see him, if JJ Watts comes around the corner and Mahomes like season opening, he's going to take it, and he'll eat up yards and clock, man. He'll eat up yards and clock, and they're going to win the game. That'll be it. It probably will come down to maybe. I think I'm going to say Kansas City wins by 13 points.
See, now his predictions are getting more specific. He's like calling out point spreads now.
Yeah. So, I think 13.
So I think one thing is, one thing to consider is Deshaun Watson, this Deshaun Watson factor. And when you look at the way the Texans – when you look at the way the Texans made it here, they shouldn't have been here. Buffalo had an implosion. Josh Allen went from looking like someone who actually kind of belongs in the NFL to reverting to what we all thought he was, a dude who did not have a high football IQ, who would panic, who was completely inaccurate, and was literally trying to throw the game away at the end. And the Texans came back. They won. Deshaun Watson pulled Deshaun Watson shit. That's what he does. He is a reactionary player. He is a guy who goes out there and makes things happen. So if it does come down to the fourth quarter, if this game is close, that is something to consider. The fact that Deshaun Watson in crunch time, who are you going to take, him or Patrick Mahomes? I think that would be a great thing to see in the fourth quarter of this game if it goes into the fourth tied up.
I think the weather's going to have a big part in it. I think it's going to be cold, and 13 points, man. Kansas City wins by 13.
KC by 1-3. Mm-hmm. So then they get to the AFC Championship game. So what are your feelings about Andy Reid as a coach? For the Texans, like his kind of legacy. And what do you think? I've always kind of seen him as a very good coach. You know what to expect from his team, but I guess it always seems like he's made it to a Super Bowl, and you got to give him that. But it always seems like his teams come up short in the playoffs at times.
It's like he runs his system and won't change it. It's like he runs so he runs his system. Like, I watched him a lot in Philly. He runs his system, which works well with the players that he gets, but he doesn't adjust it too well under pressure games. He's almost like he keeps the same system. He keeps the same system going. Even the defense, like they won't change. Like, this is what we practice. This is what we're going to run. It'll work if you do your job. So, he's always been that he wins in the regular season, but he doesn't win in the playoffs. Kind of thing.
Kind of what you said about his system's a good point. I feel like when Alex Smith was there, he wasn't really running the system that he wanted to run, right? It was catered. It was the safe. He wanted Alex Smith to be taking more shots down the field. And eventually when they were able to move up in the draft and get Patrick Mahomes, which no one really saw coming, he got the guy that he wanted for his system.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been perfect for them this year. The Patriots, really fumbled down the stretch to let them get that 2 seed, let them get that bye. Tyreek Hill's been injured. Travis Kelce's been dinged up. Patrick Mahomes has been dinged up. He had ankle issues and he dislocated that kneecap that got popped back in on the field. It hasn't been great for them, but the bye, I'm sure they're really appreciative to get healthy. I do agree with you. I think KC's got this one in the bag. I would say maybe a score. I'd say maybe about 7. 13, we'll see. It could definitely happen. We all know how explosive that offense is.
Texans, if they just Hopkins got to get the ball, man. You got to get the ball to Hopkins. Like that's just he can make plays, man. He can make yards when there's no yards to make. So, that's just
Will Fuller dropped several passes in that Buffalo game too.
Yeah, it's just that second half of that game was like it was ugly, but it's just the Bills. They even their defense, they just turned. It's like they just gave up. It's like they gave up. Look at that. Texans 65, Chiefs 51. Wow.
That's bold.
What was the name of that? Wait. What was the name of that coach that took after Andy Reid? He came in and had this weird offense. He was a college guy. Oh my gosh, what was his name?
Chip Kelly?
Kelly. Yeah. So Kelly took the same team, and just destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles with his really whacked out system of if we run 50 plays, we should win his whole mentality was we run 50 plays, we win. It doesn't matter how many yards we get. We run 50 plays, we win. It's just like, just never worked. It just never clicked.
Yeah, Chip Kelly is – so I always thought that I was skeptical of that. I didn't like Oregon, like I said. I know Marcus Mariota was a little after the Chip Kelly era there, but I've always been really skeptical of that offense that Oregon ran. I always thought it was gimmicky. So then when Chip Kelly comes to the NFL – he was successful that first year. I think they made the playoffs. If I don't remember, they were like 10-6 or something.
Was it Michael Vick that ran it with him?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Michael Vick that got him there. So,
but anyway, you're right, and they brought that in. He quickly dismantled that team because he wanted like total control, like he had at college. So all of a sudden, Deshaun Jackson, you're gone. Every players that would make a peep or a fuss in the locker room would all of a sudden be gone from the team, and it was just demolished from the inside. I see people Chiefs 30, Texans 24. That's pretty reasonable. I could see that. And it is, like everyone's saying, it is cold there today, but I don't believe it's supposed to be windy or snowy or anything like that. It's just around freezing, so not a huge deal. But all right, so your pick is Chiefs by 13.
Yeah, Chiefs by 13.
I'll take Chiefs by a score. But it should be interesting. And obviously the winner of that game is going to face and host the Tennessee Titans. Does it matter who wins? Or are you just going to pick the Titans regardless in the AFC Championship?
I'm going Tennessee. I think Tennessee could beat both these teams. I think they could beat both these teams. They beat the Texans already. Didn't they beat the Texans already? Am I quoting that incorrectly?
Well, they did beat them. They beat them in the last game of the season to make it to the playoffs, but it was Houston rested all their players.
Oh man, I don't know. Tennessee is riding high, man.
That would be an actually interesting matchup if that happens, because I've always been of the persuasion that if you have an opportunity to eliminate a team from the playoffs in the regular season, you do it. Because so many times you have this thing happen where you rest your players, you allow a team to sneak into the playoffs, they get this momentum going, and you have to face them.
How interesting would that be? You could have eliminated us. Yeah. Now we got to play you to get to the Super Bowl. And then they come out and beat you. I mean, that would be wow. That would be really something.
Oh yeah, it all happens. And Jake, the 9.5 line seems high. I agree. I think maybe around 6. That's where I would probably put it. 9.5 is a lot. We saw what a big spread matters last night. Matters nothing, evidently, because the Ravens had a huge, I think it maybe 10 or 11 was the line.
$100 on the Titans would have been a nice little.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Are we allowed to talk about that on YouTube? I don't know.
Betting? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we can talk about point spreads and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't really know the rules. Good thing we're on Jeremy's channel.
Shuts down.
Yeah. Good thing we're on Jeremy's channel.
Exactly. Exactly.
John Harbaugh.
Sweet deal.
Rivera, Spagnola, Todd Bowles, Doug Peterson, McDermott, Nagy, Childress, Frazier, Shermer, all a part of Reid's coaching chain. Yeah, that basically you have right now in the NFL, you have two huge coaching chains. You have Andy Reid and you have Bill Belichick. Obviously, those are the two guys who have been doing it, the absolute longest. Does seem like those guys have always end up in the works for jobs and everything. No, you have not been banned. You can talk about it.
Well, that's good.
So the second game, the night game, should be really interesting. You have Seattle, on the road. They don't have their 12th man. They're going to be on the road against the Green Bay Packers, the 2 seed. Who you got?
Packers will not win that game. That's my guaranteed pick.
Guaranteed.
Can't stand the Packers. I think they're fake. I think they made it this far out of luck and all that stuff. I think they're going to see it. And then we're going to have the Seahawks 49ers matchup, which is what we want to go to the Super Bowl.
And I've talked about that several of these streams throughout the way, the fact that the Seahawks and the Niners, whoever loses is going to be basically the second best team in the NFC, but have to play from the wild card, and how kind of disappointing that would be in a tough road. But Seahawks have a chance to do it. Russell Wilson makes things happen.
He does.
DK Metcalf, I'll say this up front. When they drafted DK Metcalf, I thought that it was a little bit of a reach. DK Metcalf is a monster. If I was drafting a CrossFit team or bodybuilders or something, I'd pick DK Metcalf. He is an animal, but I just didn't think that he had the hands. He's got all the numbers, but I just didn't think he could really be a top tier wide receiver this fast in the league. And with Russell Wilson, he's just exploded.
Packers faker than Aaron and Olivia's mom's relationship, Jay.
Isn't he with is he still with Danica Patrick? Aaron Rodgers?
I don't keep up with that stuff.
I think he's
all I know is every time Sports Wars talks about Aaron Rodgers, you guys use that funny picture of him. It just makes me laugh every time I see it.
Which one?
He's making that Durr face.
That's his face. That's Aaron Rodgers' face.
It's so great.
He just looks either completely disinterested or retarded. That's those only two faces.
It's like him and Eli Manning have the worst game faces ever. Eli Manning's face is off.
Yeah.
He just looks so confused the whole time. Yeah, it's the derp face. Yeah, I think the Packers will get exposed. Aaron Rodgers is going to be in trouble. That defense is coming in, man. They're going to crunch him up, and he's going to have to he's just going to have to fling it, and hope for the best. So if the Packers were to win this game, it'll be on these miracle play. You remember what was it 2 years ago? They won all those playoff games with Hail Marys.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron Rodgers had that 1 year. I think we had two Hail Marys. The one in Detroit and somewhere else. The other one.
Cardinals, right? The Cardinals.
Maybe. Yeah.
It was 1 year. He just kept hovering. That's what's going to be like today. Watch. And if he gets those Hail Marys and they win, because I picked the Eagles to win, and I really feel the Eagles would have beat Seattle if Carson Wentz didn't leave the game. I thought they were still kind of in that game.
Carson Wentz a bitch. Joshy football, Josh McCown played with a torn hamstring. The dude's 57 years old.
Yeah.
Tore his hamstring. His hair's always looking good. He gave him everything he could. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
how many touches did Marshawn Lynch have the game before? I never remember. We said 15, but we never. I don't remember if I ever saw it. I'll have to look that up after.
I don't know. It wasn't as much as I had said. If he had touched it, what was I, like 15 times? They will win.
Mm-hmm.
I think I said something like that. But once Carson Wentz went out, I was like that. They can't win that game. If he had stayed in, I really believe they would have won. It wasn't like a blowout, you know. I mean, but still,
Seahawks defense
softness cost me.
Seahawks defense not good. Well, they got too many guys running out there that only have one hand, so you can only run so many people out there before your defense is in trouble.
They might not be the best, but they're going to be good against the Packers offense.
We'll see. I want to believe that the Packers are going to come out slow. I want to believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to choke in a big moment. I want to believe that this has all been a farce and that their offense is going to slow down because I am a Bears fan. I am a Chicago Bears fan at heart. I wish the worst for the Green Bay Packers at all times. I just don't know. I think
remember everybody laughed because they thought the Saints were going to destroy the Vikings because of how good Drew Brees has been playing all year, and he laid a mega egg against the Vikings. So, you know, I thought the Vikings had a chance to win that game too, but oh well.
The one against San Francisco?
They were hanging, man, until the end. They were hanging. It wasn't a blowout until the end.
You think Steven Stefanski, who just got hired as a head coach for Cleveland, which I made a video for this morning, through the Vikings game yesterday, I think our O-line was just no match. The 49ers front four and front seven, the pressure that they get is incredible. It allows those DBs to do a lot of stuff in the backfield. So that line is no joke. Nick Bosa is a monster. He's shown that he was not overdrafted, that he is going to be the real deal. That team's just playing well on all cylinders right now. And
I agree. They've been my pick to win the Super Bowl since day one. So yeah, the 49ers are still my pick to win the Super Bowl. Man, if the 49ers play against the Titans, how would I go against the 49ers? That's been my pick from day one. But man, that would be a win for me either way. Like if they win against each other, but
so for this game, I'm gonna say Packers by 3. So Seahawks are gonna cover the spread, which I think is like 4 or 5. But I don't think that. I don't know. I think that they're going to win. I just do. They've been playing well enough this year that I think they're going to have the edge over Seattle, who has just been hanging on. Somebody brought up a great point that Seattle is like 9-1 or 10-1 in one possession games this year, which is a testament to Russell Wilson and his abilities, but it is also very lucky. That's not sustainable for success. So,
someone asked me, Jay, are you mad Miami got rid of Tannehill? Actually, no, because Tannehill, I like the guy. I liked him when he was in Miami. He I mean, I know a lot of players do this, but I got to see firsthand like this charity he did for like kids in poverty and stuff like that. He was loved in Miami. As far as I'm concerned, he was loved by many, but I'm happy to see him succeed elsewhere. Because Miami is Miami. Miami doesn't care. Miami goes for 8 wins every year. That's it. They don't. I don't know why. They just don't care. So they're just gonna stock their team full of like young rookies every year and watch them get traded off and have like crazy success elsewhere. And that's just who they are as a team. It sucks, but that's just who they are. We have one thing for Miami. Can we beat the Patriots? And when I called it and guaranteed it, no one believed me, but they still beat the Patriots. So that was our Super Bowl, and that was that. But, yeah, no, I'm not mad. I'm actually happy for him. I'm glad Tannehill's, like, getting the success. And I hope they trade Marcus. I hope Marcus is, like, I hope we hear that headline coming up. Marcus Mariota traded to the Browns or something like that.
As long as it's not the Bears, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that the worst feeling when you're like, this quarterback sucks? Breaking news. Traded to the Dolphins. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I hate that crap. But that is the NFL, and it is the Chicago Bears. So they are looking. Well, they say that they're good with Mitch Trubisky, but I think we all know that if they could find a way to probably make an upgrade and make it work, they would. We'll see. As long as Cam Newton doesn't go there, oh my God, that'd be the worst. But but that's it. So that's our predictions. I think so. We're good with Kansas City, but we're split. You're picking Seattle. I am picking Green Bay to edge out the victory, as much as that hurts me to do. But as a 49ers fan from Brianna Wilson, can just tie and both teams get eliminated, dislike both teams. I have much more disdain for the Packers than I do for the Seattle Seahawks, that's for sure. But all right, that's it. But the game starts here in about 3 minutes. Oh, and Ruthie just got here. Hey, Ruthie. Yep, games are getting started in about 3 minutes, guys. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in to our pregame Sports Wars predictions. It's always a pleasure. Jay, it's basically been me and Jay for the past several weeks, but we're holding it on lockdown for you guys. And
it's been fun, man.
It has been fun. And I think, once obviously football season is getting close to an end here, we're probably going to start doing some same things for basketball. Now the basketball season is getting into full swing. Going to do some live streams, pre-games, reactions.
All-star break and all that stuff. So we got some special stuff coming on Sports Wars, like with me and Jesse and a few other. We're going to do some skits, some really funny, it's going to be so stupid. People probably unsub, but.
Oh, dang, look at that. Packers tackle Brian Bulaga and Matt Light questionable with illness. Really? That's got to be rough. Well, I'm not changing my pick. I already picked it. But that's interesting. I'll take a look at that. Thank you, Salasso. I appreciate that. But thank you guys for being here. Go watch football. Go get drunk. Go eat a crap ton of food. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace.